What up? Oh my God, my voice just cracked. I almost lost my voice the other day. All right, so we are in LA. Check out what's going on here. We are cruising up to Tony Robbins, and we're about to unleash the power within. I almost lost my voice a couple days ago. I was feeling sick this morning, and you know what? We're gonna unleash the power within. We're gonna break through all of that. It's gonna be crazy. So this episode is all about unleashing the power within and Tony Robbins. We're gonna be giving you a behind the scenes of everything that happens, and we're gonna be giving you our little golden nuggets day by day with a play-by-play of what's going on here at Tony Robbins. And let me just get a word from Megan Ann. Boom!
Hi, Life on Fire world. So excited. This is my third UPW. I love that it's like practically in our backyard in LA. So we're super excited to share our nuggets on what's happening here in LA at Tony Robbins. And we're ready to walk on fire.
Hey, what's going on? Nick Unsworth here, and I'm a kick-ass business coach, and I'm on an absolute mission to help you find your purpose in life, to help you love what you do for work every single day, to help you be the rock star that you are meant to be, to make more money than you ever thought was possible, and to have more time freedom so you can actually enjoy the life that you're living. I'm here to help you set your life on fire. All right, so what do you think about that intro? Pretty good, right? Little voice crack going on. It was like I was 13 going through puberty, but so yeah, I was sick as a dog going into that event. But I'm going to share all kinds of good stuff here as to what happened at the Tony Robbins event. So I'm going to cut real quick to just us walking up to the convention center, and Megan Ann Unsworth drops a little knowledge about what she wants to get out of the UPW event, which is so smart, because anytime you're going to an event, you want to have a clear intention of what do you want to get out of it? What do you want to have happen as a result of that event? And then you got to put it into action. Tony Robbins' UPW event or our Ignite Your Movement event without action is nothing. It won't do anything for you. So I want to make sure you get clear on that. So here we go. All right, so we're walking up little T. Robbins Convention Center. So let's put Megan on the spot. Megan, what would you like to get out of Tony Robbins Unleash the Power? What are you going to unleash?
Well, since this is my third one, and as long as it's structured like the other two that I've been to, I want to pay attention to what he does when he's speaking with people, and he's helping people with their limiting beliefs, and he's helping to talk people through things to change them on the spot or get them to see things differently. Because what I have seen in business is that people say they want to do something, but they don't take the action to do it. Tony gets people into action, and that's what I want to watch and observe him do, so that I can help people get into action and get the results that they want.
That's awesome. Well, you totally stole my answer, so we're just going to go with that. All right, so on day one here, we got into the Tony Robbins event, and there's 10,000 people here, which is totally crazy. So just 10,000 people looking to just take their life to a whole new level. And so once we got in there, what was awesome is we really learned one of Tony's most foundational things, which is to get into state. And so there was a lot of yelling. And so a lot of yelling, a lot of jumping, a lot of dancing, and getting into state. And so the whole thing is what Tony teaches is that anything we do in life, we want to be in the right state. And what that just means is we want to be in like an uplifting, just motivated state. So basically, think of it as like we created these power moves. So for how he teaches is the power move is to get your physiology moving along with you, so that you're not only thinking of a positive thought, something from your past, something that you've done that was amazing, where you felt really confident and proud, but also something where you get your physiology into it. So I teach something that I learned from a different mentor. So it's kind of like what I teach with the Moment on Fire, but it works like this. You basically want to take a time in your life where you've done something completely amazing. Think of a time in your life where you have been very proud of your accomplishments. Now, you want to think of, it could be anything from your childhood, it could be from sports, it could be from school, it could be from a promotion, a job that you got, it could be falling in love, any area of life. Just think about what's the first thing that comes to mind when you think of what is your proudest moment where you were the most confident. So if you want to get into a confident state of mind and where you can just take action and just be motivated to get things done, what is that for you? Just think of something real quick that pops up in your head. And so once you have it, the next thing is you want to think about what was your physiology like, because you want to think about that moment in your mind, you want to visualize it, you want to focus on it, and it's like where you focus your attention to, that's what you bring about. And so you want to focus on that time in your life, and then you want to bring in your physiology. So a moment for me is when I was in high school playing football, and in that moment I can think of one specific play where after I made this, tackle, it's called a pancake block, and I put this guy on his back, we scored a touchdown, got in the high school Hall of Fame. When I popped up, I can get into state and I just clench my fists and I stand the way that I stood when I got up from that play, and just shoulders back and just like I can feel it. Like I'm starting to even get goosebumps on my arms just thinking about that moment. And so I can stand with my shoulders back and just visualize it, and I can clench my fists and I can go there in my head. So that's combining my thoughts and visualization with also my physiology. So that's just a theme that goes through Tony's event, and we learned that on the first day because it's so important to get into state. So he gets 10,000 people in state, and he spends a tremendous amount of time getting people dancing and yelling and interacting with the audience, and that's just to create engagement, to learn not only just auditorily but also learning through doing. So that's one of the big messages on day one is about understanding, having the awareness of what state are you in, and it's like, what state am I in right now? Or I put it this way, what state are you in right now? Are you in kind of like on a lunch break, here in Unsworth talk state, or are you in like a fired up, you're ready to learn some content to take your life to the next level state? So it's like awareness of what state are you in now and what state do you want to be in. And so think of that time in your life, that moment on fire for you where you did something amazing. And you know what, literally right now, just take a second and just stand the way that you would stand, breathe the way that you would breathe, and put your physiology in that state and see how it feels. And it's going to change your energy in that moment. And so what's cool is that was one thing that we learned, and then Tony spent some time to educate us about the fire walk and to walk on coals. And so I'm going to jump really fast to a clip of 10,000 people. He's got music blaring, and it's just getting everyone fired up for the fire walk. Check it out. So it's crazy. There was so many people, and it's just music just bumping and blaring, and everyone's just getting in this fired up state of just chanting yes, yes. And he starts to share that to walk over fire, and this is, at our events we do a glass walk and a board break. With the fire walk, the whole thing is you're getting yourself into that empowered state, and it's about taking the first step. So throughout the theme of the whole event, it's about the first step, and that's so important in business. It's like, when you know what you need to do in life or into business, or you need to pick up the phone and make that cold call, or you need to have the tough conversation, or you need to fire the person in your organization, all that starts with the first step, and that creates momentum in your life and in your business. And so, he's talking about the first step is the fire walk, and the hardest part is just the first step. As soon as you take a step and your foot touches the coals, you're going to move. You're not going to stand there. You're not going to stay put. They're hot. And so he describes, just how hot they are. They're 1,200 degrees, and what happens. And the big thing is that when you're getting into state, in a focus state for the fire walk, we were chanting and thinking in our minds, cool moss. So actually just picturing, the fuzzy green cool moss, the actual moss stuff, So instead of walking on hot coals that would burn your feet and turn your legs into charred stumps, he was having us think about cool moss, like you're walking on this it's cool moss, right? And so we started to frame that in our heads, that when we were focusing our minds and we were walking, we were visualizing cool moss, and we were saying cool moss, and we were walking on cool moss. And so we repeated that over and over and over, and we got it to the point where 10,000 people walked on coals thinking that it's cool moss, and very few people got burned. One person I was going to say something bad. That's not a funny joke. So anyway, people were able to do it and to walk over the hot coals because they were in that state. And, Tony talks about how they've done this with people not in state, and people have gotten severely burned versus people in state. So day one is very heavy on the importance of being in state. So that's a recap. I'm going to jump a real quick cut over to us walking to the fire pits, and then also just a little crackle of the fire. You can't really see. They don't allow flash photography or videography in there, but you get a quick little glimpse of what was going on, and then you'll get our reaction after the fire walk. So check it out.
So what do you think? So how was the fire walk?
Hot.
Hot?
Awesome.
Fast, very fast.
Very fast. Yeah. quick
Very
and
fast.
easy.
It's like a fire, scurry. Shimmy, fire shimmy.
Yeah.
What do you think?
It was awesome. It was my fourth time. walking
time.
on
hand
fire.
Fourth time.
Yeah.
What? So Megan was really giving us the 411 about exactly what needed to happen, exactly where you needed to put your focus up, exactly what you needed to be saying in your mindset, the mantra that you need to be repeating to yourself. So then by the time we find that we were there, it was like, oh, well, I feel like I've done this before.
And then you forget everything she said.
Yeah.
What did you think?
I thought it was great. I like a little fire walk, a little fast. I prefer a glass one personally.
Yeah.
Yeah, us too.
Great.
But,
We all agree.
we all agree. So
It was like a trot. It's still going. I just felt like dancing.
He's always dancing.
So if you can walk on fire, that's the first step. Now what can we do?
Dance on glass.
Dance on
Oh,
glass. Maybe walk on Legos.
Oh,
Legos.
Gravel? How about gravel?
Yeah, gravel Legos. All right, good work.
So fun.
Yes.
Congrats, Life
Yes.
on Fire team.
Yes.
Team.
Yes.
Let's do on three. We'll do like fire. Ready?
Life on Fire.
1, 2, 3.
Life on
Fire!
Yes. All right, we're acting up. All right, so day two, and I'm going to zip through this. I want to get to some of these nuggets fast. But day two is all about creating, momentum and what's the driving force behind momentum. And so I got my notes here. But basically, the first step is getting into the peak state. So we already went through that. Number two is finding your passion. Now, this is something that it is incredibly important to really drill down into what you love, what you enjoy doing. And I always like to say, if money were no object, if you literally just hit the jackpot, you've already spent all the money, where would you spend your time and what would you do? So getting really clear on your passion, because it's hard to be in momentum if you don't have passion about what you're doing. And the third thing is deciding and committing to your passion. And so it's like everything starts, and Tony kept coming back to this over and over and over, that the power of an actual decision and then committing to it, because a decision without a commitment is just gonna flip-flop in the wind, if you will. So it's like you make the decision and then commit to the action, and then in step 4 it's just all about just going and taking massive action, and that's what's going to get you into momentum. And the thing is that it's your action that will get you into momentum. That the action creates progress. And something that you could try is that if you're overwhelmed or you're stuck in your business or even at work and you're just like, there's just too much to do, I don't know where to start, and you just feel stuck, literally, when you go home, make a list of 3 things that you've been meaning to do forever, and I don't care what they are. It could be cleaning the closet, cleaning your desk, and doing the laundry. And just the action, just the motion of doing something and the motion of being up and moving, and the movement will actually get you into momentum, because that is just you're just doing. And that's step 4, is you're actually just doing something. And so what's crazy is that anytime I'm stuck, I will literally just go freaking do something. And whether it's for my business or it's something that's easy, something that I can do and feel accomplished when it's done. Like, all right, sweet, this little video room here, if you look around, there's boxes. It's like, we need to put that in storage. Just go and just actually get the thing done and just do it. So that's part of creating the momentum. And then in step 5 is just being honest with yourself. and coming back and checking in and just seeing what the results are. Are you measuring? And so the thing about momentum is that when you can quantify it and you can see some progress and you can quantify it and you can measure it, then you start to look back and say, holy crap, like I have done a lot. I am in momentum, and you start to be really proud of yourself. And so one thing that I recommend is once you're in that state and you're creating momentum, you have to reward yourself. And Tony touched on this, many times, is that you have to celebrate your wins and reward yourself with the actions that you're doing. So that was day 2, and I'm going to flip real fast to day 3. All right, so day 3, to me, this was one of the most transformational days. Day 3, this is where a lot of the magic happens. And day 4 was about health. I'm not going to dive into the day 4 and the health piece. We'll have a separate episode just about health and stuff. But so we're going to wrap it up here with day 3. And this was the big focal point it is what's called the Dickens Process. So I've done this 3 times with Michael Burnoff. I have radically changed my life multiple times because of this process. And it was so refreshing to go through it again with Tony. So in a nutshell, here's how it works. Is step number 1 is I want you to get very, very clear on what it is that you want, right? And get really clear on what you would want in life. And this is everything from what you want financially or with your health or with love, but get really clear on what it is that you want. And the next piece is to identify what are the consequences of not having it. And what will your life look like if you don't have it? And what's so crazy is that what Tony does in the Dickens Process is that you get really clear on what your life will look like if you don't go through it. So as an example, for me, I got really clear on what I want. I want to get my body in the best shape of my life. And I know that from my body, that once my body is in check, I'm going to have more confidence in business. I'm going to have more confidence in life. It's not that I need confidence or an arrogance or an ego thing. It's the more confidence you have, the stronger you're going to be in your business, and better communicator you're going to be. And so I know that if my health is in check, I'm going to then be able to help more people because I'm going to have more energy. I'm going to be the best version of myself to be able to do more. So in this example, Nick Unsworth, what do you want? I want to be healthy. What I love about this process, when I did it 3 years ago, it was I want to have a successful business. Boom, I created Life on Fire. Did it again. I want love. Got Megan Ann Unsworth. Now she's an Unsworth. Whoop, whoop. And now this time around, it's like, this is what I love about doing this every 6 months or so, is this time around, it was like, I want to be healthy. And I want to, overcome this, this thing with alcohol. And I just became sober and I gave that up. And I want to get my body in the best shape of my life. And I want to have just the best clarity in my mind and focus. So what I want to be healthy. Now, the next piece is, well, what are the consequences if you don't get that? And you go deep and deep and deeper and deeper and deeper with this. So in my example is, what are the consequences for not getting healthy? And what I started to picture is me being overweight. I've been gaining weight. I don't know if you can tell in the videos, but I've been gaining a couple pounds. And it's like, if I don't do something, like what if I continue to gain weight? What if I become unhealthy? What if this, because it doesn't make me happy gaining weight, it doesn't make me feel good, it makes me cranky. What if this starts to become a wedge between my relationship with my beautiful wife, and it starts to create this lack of confidence and lack of self-esteem, and it spirals out of control. And he asks you to keep going deeper and deeper and feel the pain and feel the pain. What if it gets to a point where I look at myself in the mirror and he wants you to, the worst case scenario, like literally to take the consequences and go all the way to the worst case scenario. So in my mind, my worst case scenario was looking in the mirror and being alone. Like I pictured myself in front of the mirror, just overweight, just like literally crying and just like punching the glass because Megan left me because I was so grumpy and angry because my health was deteriorating. And that's like this worst case scenario, and like I didn't have the family that I wanted and the body and the lifestyle. And it's not about the body. It's about, I want health so I can help more people. It's not just like I want to take my shirt off and run around. I want it to be the best version of myself. So you get clear in this consequence and you go all the way down and you create this pain, because what you're doing is you're creating this gap where, what it is that you want and what's the consequence if you don't go get it. Because if you're just like, I want a healthy body, well, how many people just go out and do it? Versus it's like you create this consequence and you get your body and your nervous system to understand that. So basically I came clear on that consequence, and what happened was I identified also our, the limiting belief. What is it that's holding me back from becoming the best version of myself and becoming healthy? And one of my limiting beliefs is I can't lose weight. Simple as that. That's something that I just say in my head. I can't lose weight. So what you do next is you go from what you want, identify your consequence, and then the next piece is what is the limiting belief? I can't lose weight. So what is it for your scenario? And then what you do is you say the limiting belief and then you replace it with a positive affirmation. So let's just say, for example, if you say the limiting belief as if you've just ingested a whole bunch of helium and you're like, I can't lose weight. And then you say, bullshit. It's easy to lose weight. I'm in the best shape of my life. And then you say, I can't lose weight. They say, bullshit. It's easy to lose weight and I'm in the best shape of my life. And you go through and you repeat that over and over and over and over and over again. And what you're doing is you're getting your brain to basically take the thing that it thinks all the time, like I can't lose weight, and you're swapping it with it's easy to lose weight and I'm in the best shape of my life. And so you leave the event and you're equipped now where you've identified the limiting beliefs, you've switched them in your brain, and when you do it with enough repetition in the right state, what happens is it flips in your mind so that those thoughts don't come around anymore. And when they do, I flip it and say, it's easy to lose weight. I'm in the best shape of my life. And just by repeating that on a regular basis, it's easy to then create momentum, to actually achieve what you want, which is the thing that you want. And so then you flip back to what I just talked about momentum and just taking action upon it. And boom, next thing you know, you've unleashed within. But so it's this is a very abbreviated version, but those are a couple important pieces. So the takeaway is what I want you to think about is, what is it that you want and what is the negative consequence? What's the limiting belief holding you back? And the action item is simply just reframe that one limiting belief and what's the positive affirmation. And every single day, just say that affirmation and start to live it, breathe it, and do it. So I've got to wrap up here for today. What I want you to do is stay tuned for the next episode of Life on Fire TV. Dive in, submerge yourself with what we have going on, and please head over to lifeonfire.com. And I would love to hear your feedback and comments, and I would love to hear your experience and your nuggets if you've attended a Tony Robbins event or shoot any event for that matter. So come over, say what's up, and share some comments with us, and look forward to catching up with you very soon. Cheers.